It's Week 15 of the National Football League. Coming up, we'll see Kenny Pickett. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Steelers and the Colts on EA Sports.
First opened back in 2008, there's a look at Lucas Oil Stadium here in downtown Indy. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The byes are over. It's now a 4-week sprint to the finish, and we are underway here in Week 15. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is the number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
The moment Anthony Richardson's name was announced as the 4th pick in the 2023 draft, it changed the landscape and probably our viewing habits with the NFL. He is must-see viewing. Tremendous athlete, not a lot of experience, but the ceiling as high as it possibly can be.
Let's go now.
Yeah, Richardson will throw to start out here. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, but it's going to be second down. You look at this Steeler defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on, top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now it's Richardson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Pulled in at the 24. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Here's one deep for Pickens. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars if this ball was overthrown.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. The Steelers at 12-1 now to start play. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because, to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play. not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 37. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Setting up the screen, Harris. Nifty move. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Down to about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Back to throw, Pickett. Got his man, it's Warren. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Harris. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
From the 2 now. 2nd and goal. Again, it's Harris. And this time he'll lose yardage as the defense not giving him any room to operate. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now from back at the 5. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Pickett. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me, because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these 2 teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They find some open field here. And he's going to step out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 55 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Play action. Now Richardson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. 3rd and 12. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see they've already clinched the AFC North. As it stands, of course, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend. But you know, we always talk about how coaches say we want to win that division, and that's the key thing, right?
Oh, that's absolutely right. And that comes all the way down from the front office. They build their teams to win their division first, because if you do that, you guarantee that first game at home. Yeah, if you get the #1 seed in a bye, that's terrific. But bottom line, get into the playoffs. There are a heck of a lot of teams watching that wish they were in your spot.
Escaping the pressure right. A short one there to Freiermuth. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. He finds Pickens over the middle. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 36. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 4. They toss it to Warren. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And has a nice job to hold them just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7. Pickett now from the gun here. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. This offense number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Pickett. And that'll be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
2nd and 10. Pickett. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And the Colts getting ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
T.J. Watt gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Third and long for Richardson. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Pickett sets up play action. Man open is Robinson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now a 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Allen Robinson, 28 yards. And the Steelers are able to stretch out their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes our score 17-0. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You
down.
don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've got nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go
So
now.
7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Travel up, check. Man.
There, Richardson back to throw it. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Defense,
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Keanu Benton in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Ready,
Sacks,
break.
a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Richardson looking to throw this. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Moss on the give up the middle. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Second and 10. Pickett right back to the air again. Touchdown! Deontay Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That's caught. It's Josh Downs. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts.
Okay,
So that
ready?
means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Hey, no, unlock line.
Richardson to the air on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Following the fumble recovery, Pickett. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That is incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We begin with the Battle of the Great Lakes, Chicago on the shores of Lake Michigan, heading to the shores of Lake Erie to take on Cleveland. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From Chicago, we head north to the home of their rivals as we check on the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they trail the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to the half. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Joe Burrow leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Gets this out wide to Pickett. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Let's go.
Pickett will look to throw it here. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Off play action, Pickett. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards the gain for number 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Pickett to throw on 1st down. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They'll start on the ground with Moss. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Inside the 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. That pick 6 just a moment ago, things went from bad to worse. Look up at the scoreboard now. Not looking good here. We'll see if they can put something together on this drive. 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll start out with Moss. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
No game. nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Got his man, it's Warren. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington, and he will have a Steelers 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 38-yard line.
Now it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Go! Ready?
They'll run on 1st down with Moss. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An even 100 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Go switch. Run. Check.
Right back to Moss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Richardson now on 2nd down. And this taken in by Downs. That'll give them 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Makes it 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. Trubisky will throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 31-yard line. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Pass taken in by his big tight end, and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Running left, it's Warren. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And not a whole lot there as he'll get him down at about the 2. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. On the give. It's Warren. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Richardson on 3rd and short. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And he is going to have a Colts first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First and 10. Here's Richardson with it. That complete to Downs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go. 2nd down. 2nd down, here's Richardson. This pass reeled in by Hull. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Richardson now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Coaches must really... And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Gain is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Steelers,